It is trick or treat, smell my feet.
Give me something good to eat. Okay, so
Do people even say that anymore when they like? I feel like trick or treaters don't say that.
It's been a minute since I've been around the block, but my kids
literally
will be saying it.
Yeah. Boo, 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 bitches. We're back.
Happy fucking Halloween.
Happy Halloweeny.
You're a weenie.
It's the most wonderful time of the year again.
It's the time to binge watch Scream, binge Twix bars.
Yes.
Don't answer the door because there are probably children there and we don't want to look at them.
It's also time to not say, I'll be right back, and not say who's there. Because that's the first rule of scary movies. If you say those things, you're going to die. You also can't have sex. So you have to be a virgin or else you're going to die. Okay.
Well, today is a gloomy day in Boston. I guess we're getting hit with a little nor'easter.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Is it a nor'easter? Wait, we're going to get snow?
No, just like a lot of rain and wind.
Wait, rain is considered a nor'easter? I think it has to be snowing.
I don't know.
Who the hell makes these rules?
So nor'easter is like the aftermath of a hurricane.
Oh, right. Spreading false news on Drinks After Work.
Okay, well, sorry that we're not meteorologists.
That's why I'm wearing this really big, comfy, cozy sweatshirt because link in bio to cop yours if you're watching on YouTube. Anyways, but I just was like, if I have to leave the house today, it's going to be in comfy, cozy clothes. Well, you look wicked cute.
I actually don't feel like I look cute. I'm wearing like a mom shirt.
I thought you looked very nice.
I had one of those days where I just wanted to put a plastic bag, or maybe not plastic because I'd probably suffocate and die, but maybe like a paper bag over my head and walk in here because I just don't okay, so I don't know if I told you this. I got micro needling the other day.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it, but I heard that you got it.
So I've been wanting to get this for so long, and I finally just took the plunge and did it. They basically have this little roller thing that has a bunch of needles in it. Oh yeah. And they needle your entire face and your neck if you want them to. And
with consent.
It's consensual, but they do in fact needle your face and your neck. Anyways, so there's a bunch of awesome things that microneedling can do, but after you get it done, you feel like you get a really fucking bad sunburn. You're beet red and sore and
hurts?
Burning. Yes, because it's literally needles going deep into your face. And
yeah, I would imagine that's not very
it's
pleasant.
not super pleasant, but I guess within the next few days, your skin kind of peels because it's rejuvenating itself. Oh. So my skin's kind of peeling right now, and when your skin's peeling from a sunburn and you put makeup on and it gets kind of icky.
It just doesn't look good. Yeah,
and it feels kind of rough. Layer. So I just wasn't in the mood to put my makeup on, but then I was like, fuck.
I think your skin looks really good right now, so it's weird that you say that.
Wow.
You look like a newborn baby.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the goal.
Okay, well, Halloween is this weekend, which means we made it through October.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? October just flew.
It flew. I feel like October is one of those months where we get the foliage. And so I'm just saying, I feel like in New England, you try to do so much during October because you're I have to fucking take advantage of the fall weather. And then all of a sudden it's over.
It is over. And we did not participate in Sober October.
We successfully went another year without participating in Sober October. And we almost made it through October without being sober.
That's an accomplishment.
Are you kind of jealous of the people that did it though?
I actually kind of am, and here's why. Nothing good comes from alcohol.
I completely agree. Abby and I just spent the full weekend in a bender.
Oh, bending
and binging. Binging and bending and binging.
All the bees. Honestly though, it's such a waste. I mean, is this bad for our brand that I'm saying this? But waste of money, waste of calories, honestly makes me fat and swollen.
The thing with drinking is obviously first off, we never condone drinking on the show, as everyone knows.
Anymore.
I'm kidding. We do we condone doing whatever the hell you want. But I think I know so many friends who did Sober October and they're all it's insane, Shannon. My skin is great and I feel great and I have more energy and I feel hydrated and awesome. And meanwhile, yesterday I was walking around Boston just staring out into the distance, wondering why my life turned out this way.
I know. We had quite the weekend.
I
think we're getting too old for the whole all day, all night partying.
Yes, I think you have to reach a point in your life where you have to choose one. You have to go out during the day and like call it like a 7 p.m. evening and go to sleep, or you have to like muster up your energy during the day and go out at night. Like the full day, full night is just, no one should have to do that anymore.
I agree. And college. we weren't going to go out at night, but you know, we started actually at Mystery Man's house and then we made our way over to Banners. If anyone is looking to watch like a sports game, I don't know if our listeners, I mean, maybe go there
37.
if you want to meet like a boy, go to Banners. They have like a shit ton of TVs and it's right next to the TD garden. So like you could like just walk to and from the entrance and like hope to like meet a boy. But we saw... Actually, no, we didn't see.
Yeah.
Brianna Chicken Fry was there the same exact time that we were there. And she was sitting literally right behind us. And I was too busy living in the moment to be on my phone, which I deeply regret.
Yeah.
Because literally the next morning, I'm looking through Instagram stories and I get to hers and I see that she was there literally at the same time, literally right behind. And I'm upset if you can't tell.
All the shit that we said a few weeks ago about like being present, like living in the moment, like not being obsessed with social media is fucking so untrue and stupid. And we were liars. From now on, I don't care about living in the moment. You shouldn't like try to like carpe the fucking DM or whatever it is that people do. You shouldn't care about your friends. All you should care about is Instagram and like who's there.
who's there at the same time as you. No, I'm very upset. I'm a big Brianna Chicken Fry fan. And I would have 100% gone up to her.
She must be low key because we were there and like there wasn't like people
we were there
like
for 3 hours.
And I feel like she's pretty popular. I mean, we're not crazy, right? Like most people know her and like her in Boston. I'm surprised that we didn't notice her, and I'm surprised other people didn't notice her.
Well, she was kind of sneaky.
She was being sneaky.
Table. Yeah, her table was strategically placed. I feel.
Okay, so we weren't that bad.
No.
We were just having too much fun, taking tequila shots. What are you going to do? But honestly, you're right. Banners is a good place to go to meet a boy. I think it's a better place to go on a date with a guy that maybe you don't actually like, but you want him to buy your dinner for you because he's going to ignore you the whole time and just watch the sports game. So it's kind of like a win-win.
Yeah. Okay. There's that too. Yeah. But this weekend we also went to Memoir, and who do we see?
Pizza Cottontail.
Our boy Peter. So our producer is a producer by day and a DJ by night. Isn't that right?
Hell yeah,
such
baby.
An awesome surprise seeing you guys there.
I know, no warning.
Yeah, like we went to so embarrassing. We were like at a post-game / pre-game because we're weirdos at Nema and Seaport, and we were like, maybe we should get a table tonight. Like, do we go to the Grand? And then we were like, no, let's go to Memoir. And we like pulled up like the floor plan of Memoir, and we're like looking at the available tables like on the TV. Like someone like screen mirrored their phone onto the TV, and we're all just like sitting back watching it.
We were debating which table we wanted.
Yeah, so we ended up going, and we had no idea. We looked up, and Abby was like, "It's fucking Peter!"
So when I was waving frantically at you, who did you think it was?
Just some random person.
Did you think it was your ex-girlfriend?
So like there was like some girl on the dance floor that kept trying to like shout at me to try to like wish her. She kept saying like, "Oh, it's my birthday." Like I could like barely hear her too because they're like 10 feet away. And so like when I saw you waving in the back, I was just like, oh, it's someone else trying to get my attention. So I was just trying to ignore like as many people on the dance floor as possible. And then I looked again and I was like, holy shit, it's Abby.
Yeah. Well, then I texted you too because I was like, he needs to see me.
Wait, that is awesome. You know what's so funny about the fucking birthday thing at the club or anywhere is there's always like one bitch that's like, it's my birthday. Like, and it's funny because when you're a DJ or like in that situation, like it's always someone's birthday. Like every single night at the Grand or Memoir or Big Night Live or wherever you are in the world, it's always like someone's birthday that's there or someone's bachelorette party. So they like think they're so special, and it's like, well, no. Especially
because like I was the opener too, so it was like very like kind of chill vibes in the beginning. Like I can't just get on the mic and be like, happy birthday,
Regina, it's your fucking birthday. Take your top off.
Oh. Well, if that girl really wanted a birthday shout out, she should have paid for one. So
true.
Yeah.
But it was a good weekend, but definitely Sunday was very scary.
It was scary. I'm still a little scared.
You tried to get Mystery Man and I to go to brunch as if we didn't endure enough the next day.
I know. I was like, okay, you don't want to go to brunch with us? You were like, no. I was like, oh yeah, but like what if we just, and you guys were like, no. I was like, okay.
Your freaking French onion soup looked fire.
It was so good. I went to Rochambeau.
Okay, yeah.
So good.
I know. Once I saw your French onion soup, I immediately regretted my decision.
Yeah, I know.
It looked so good.
Came for the friends, stayed for the soup. You know what I mean? All right, so guys, we're gonna do drunk deets next. It actually just occurred to me we haven't done this in a while. I mean, we do drunk deets every week, but
where are you going?
We haven't explained what the fuck drunk deets is in a while. And I feel like lately we've had a lot of new listeners reaching out to us saying they just found the show. So if you are new here, first off, go back and watch the first episode. Actually,
no, maybe
don't go back and watch like the first 10 episodes. They're horrible. we drink too much.
I would say the first 20.
Yeah, maybe like go back to episode like 15 and start there. But for those of you that are new, Drunk Deets, we came up with the idea this podcast is for people, by people who have 9 to 5s and for people that have 9 to 5 jobs and are usually like post-grad age. So the whole concept is it's pop culture information for people who may be too busy during the week to keep up with the celebs.
Yeah.
And it's drunk because
ourselves included. We learned this the day
ourselves
that we
included.
Write the outline.
Okay. So what do we got first?
Okay. So this week is for drunk deets.
Sad. They're like sad
drunk
deets.
Deets is not
like spooky
fun.
Halloween deets.
I know. So the actor Alex Baldwin, he is so basically he fatally shot someone, part of his like crew. So basically he was on the movie set of Rust, and his cinematographer, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, cinematographer.
So he was rehearsing a scene that involved pointing a revolver towards the camera lens. And the crew had been told that it didn't contain live rounds, but suddenly it went off, and unfortunately the cinematographer did not make it. I don't know how to pronounce it. Helena?
Yeah.
Halyna Hutchins.
Yeah.
But also the director was also wounded in the shooting. It's a very sad, tragic story. It's one of those things where like he's going to live with that for the rest of his life. Yeah. And I don't know what I would do if I was in his shoes.
Yeah. I feel like it's so sad for everyone. It's sad for obviously the families of those people. It's sad for the people that it happened to. It's sad for him. Like it's just a big old mess. I think the reason we wanted to bring it up, and I feel like, by the way, most people have probably heard about the story at this point. My mom was actually the one who told me about it. But obviously a horrible situation. I think the biggest debates that are happening right now on the internet from what I've seen is the first group of people are kind of wondering like how the fuck, and this is kind of the school of thought that I'm in, how the fuck in 2021 are we not aware that there's a loaded gun and we think that it's filled with blanks, but it's like, how does that even happen? How is that a risk? I didn't know that was a risk. I thought they only used fake guns. So I'm so confused as to how that happened. Also with the effects that happen these days, it's like, let's say they were like, oh, we want it to be authentic. Like you could just probably do the video editing and make it look real. Yeah. Like I've watched movies where people like age backwards like 50 years and it's like a different person. Like they can make the gun look better. Yeah. So why is it a real gun? Why is it loaded? Well, I don't understand.
So I will say there was another article that I read that said that, you know, it was, I don't know, like a stun gun, but the bullets are strong enough to do damage. So
but why
even
is
if that's true, why is it, well, for the theatrics, for the scene, I guess. But why, if it's a stun gun, why is it still strong enough to kill someone? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But even so, like you could, I don't know, maybe I'm like having too much faith in video editing. I just don't get the point. Like I feel like in that situation, there should be like no threat of the gun being loaded or of someone getting hurt. Yeah. And like, I feel like as a producer or a director or a cinematographer, when you're on set, you shouldn't be ever thinking like, okay, there could be something happening here, like that could endanger my life. I also feel like as an actor, when you pick up what you feel like is a prop or are given a gun that should be blank, and the armorer, I think, is the person that's supposed to like double check it first before they give it to the actor. Yeah. You shouldn't ever have to think like, okay, maybe this is loaded. Which actually brings me to the second debate that's going on the internet right now, where people are kind of divided per usual. Some people think that Alec Baldwin should be charged with involuntary manslaughter, that he killed this person and that it's like his fault, that he should have checked the gun first. They're like, anytime you yield,
not his job.
They're like, anytime you yield a gun as a adult, you should always check to make sure that the gun does not contain real bullets. The other half of people are like, whoa, no, that's the armorer's job. That is not his job. The actor is not supposed to be trained in how to use a gun. By the time they get the gun, it's supposed to be checked so many times that they shouldn't even have to like worry about that. Right. To them, it's supposed to be a prop. So it's very much divided right now what people think. I've also just read a bunch of stuff about this movie in general, like the entire production just being a complete shit show. Some of the people walked off saying it feels unsafe here. They had a bunch of like issues during filming where things like sketchy things happened prior to this. This wasn't like a single occurrence. So there's conspiracy stuff flying around. There's people who are saying he's guilty. I think in the end of the day, regardless of what your views are, it's an extremely sad situation. I can't imagine what he's going through. I can't imagine what the loved ones of these people who got injured are going through. And I just think like I don't know if like, I feel like as an actor, like it's probably going to really affect his ability to do his job from now on, and just like thinking like, wow, like this just happened. I just killed someone and I didn't mean to. Like I couldn't imagine like what that feels like. And I also just think that I don't know what this means for the studio. Like, are they going to get sued? Like, I have no idea.
I know. I feel
it's just
like
a sad situation.
I feel like the whole movie, I don't like, it's like, what's the right thing? Like, do they finish the movie? Do they not finish the movie? And I feel like either whatever they do, they're going to be scrutinized no matter what. Yeah.
I think that's like the biggest thing with just life, is that you're going to be scrutinized no matter what you do. I feel like I wouldn't finish the movie.
I don't think I could.
Yeah.
If I were
I wouldn't. And I feel like the studio shouldn't make them finish the movie either.
Right.
Like out of respect to those people.
I agree.
Also, like, I don't know who fucked up, but someone did fuck up big. And I feel like they should do, there should be like an investigation into that. And it shouldn't be like, oh, like, you know, it's just part of the game. It's like, that's someone's life. And they didn't go into work on Monday morning thinking that was going to happen, or that there was like a risk of that happening. So I don't know. Super sad situation. Okay. Second drunk Deet. This one's also sad in kind of like a weirdly heartwarming, but really still sad way. Some of you guys may have seen this online, but Paul Walker, he was obviously a household name in the Fast and the Furious movies. He did pass away. How long ago at this point? It's been a while.
It was 2013.
2013.
He was only 40.
Oh, so sad.
I know.
So Paul Walker did pass away back in 2013. He was in the Fast and the Furious movies with Vin Diesel. They ended up becoming very, very close, very good friends. So Paul Walker has since passed away, but his daughter Meadow, recently,
a pretty name.
Yeah, that is a really pretty name. I feel like you don't see that enough.
I know.
She recently got married, and Vin Diesel ended up walking her down the aisle in place of her father, who could not do it. I feel like people saw this and instantly were just like crying, because people have like so many feels about Paul Walker, like what happened to him, and just like the bromance. I don't know. I just like, it makes me so sad, but I love it at the same time.
Oh my God, I know.
Puts you in your feels.
Literally, and it's Vin is her godfather on top of that. So it's just like the perfect scenario. But she is only 22. I didn't realize how young she was. And she was 15 years old when her dad died, which is the same age that I was. So I thought that was like, oh my God, that's so sad. Because I think about that all the time. I'm like, who's going to walk me down the aisle? But it's super sweet that Vin was there. And did you know who her husband is? Lewis Thornton Allen?
No.
Some English actor. I feel like you know all the Brits.
Because I'm obsessed with Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really am bad with names. I'm so good with faces. Like, it's actually kind of bad.
I mean, I looked at their photos. Did you see any?
Yeah.
Her dress was very plain. What did you think?
Yeah, but I kind of liked it. It was like classy.
I mean, it was Givenchy.
Yeah, Givenchy.
Right? Is that really how you pronounce it?
It can be Givenchy. Can be whatever you want it to be.
Tell me you don't own designer without telling me you don't own designer.
It looks like Givenchy.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was a custom how'd you say it?
Just like a custom dress.
It was
a couture dress.
A custom dress. Very plain. They got married in the DR, and I was just shocked. Like, they're 22. Like, she's 22. They just made their relationship public this past July.
Oh, wow.
So I'm wondering, like, how long were they dating?
They probably like secretly dating for a while. I feel like that's like a thing these days.
I don't know.
That's cute though. Honestly, I love that.
Happy for her.
And there's like some quote from, I think it's Vin Diesel, about like how his friends are his family or something like that. I don't remember, but it was just really cute. And I was seeing it and I was crying and I was a little hungover, and it was just, anyways, very, very sad, but very, very cute. Okay. So we already talked about this. I feel like this week is what most people are going to be talking about. It is trick or treat. Halloween.
Smell my feet.
Smell my feet.
Give me something good to eat.
Give me something good to eat.
Okay, so
do people even say that anymore when they like? I feel like trick-or-treaters don't say that anymore.
It's been a minute since I've been around the block, but my kids will be saying it.
Yeah.
I will be passing down that. But when are you too old to, dress up and like still partake?
I was actually going to say that because you brought up your kids. Like, are you going to dress up like when your kids go trick-or-treating? Or are you going to dress up too? Are you going to be that mom that dresses up?
So I really want to be like that perfect Pinterest family where like the mom and the dad and the 3 kids are like all matching.
Oh, you want to like punch them in the face, but you also kind of like love it at the same time.
I would love to be that, but
Punchable.
I think I'm going to be the mom that's walking in sweatpants with, her little hydro flask of booze.
I was gonna say I kind of want to be the mom that like the kids are trick-or-treating and me and my girlfriends are like walking behind them just getting tanked, like brown bagging and walking around the
stealing your kids' candy. Yeah.
Like the little kids like, I actually I had to go home early because my mom was blacked out running around like grabbing all the candy. Literally stealing candy from babies running around the neighborhood, and I was so embarrassed that we had to leave.
That is goals. That's more goals than the freaking Pinterest families.
Aim to be that type of a mom.
I agree. That's very on brand.
But yeah, I don't know how old to dress up and partake in activities. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of stuff on social media lately with people who are like, I'm just like too old now. Like I'm going to like nestle down with like a book for Halloween. And it's like 25-year-olds saying this. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I do feel like there's like this weird stigma of people that are like, oh my God, I'm so old. Like I can't do Halloween. I'm just like too mature. And I'm like, bitch, you're 25.
I think Halloween can be a holiday for anyone at any age, young or old. Even if you're freaking 80, like get after it. Like pretend to be a freaking not old person. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Like
preach, baby.
I just don't think that Halloween needs to be like, it doesn't even have to be that deep. Like if you want to celebrate but you don't want to dress up, cool. If you want to celebrate and you want to dress up, cool. Like it doesn't matter.
I feel like if you just don't like the thought of like having to put on a costume and it makes you feel childish or like you just don't like it, that's fine. But I feel like people try to like cop out and be like, oh my God, no, I'm just too old now. And I'm like, you're not. Like you're like 25 years old. Like you're gonna be okay. I mean, if Kourtney Kardashian can like fully like just revamp her entire wardrobe and become like a goth princess and she's like in her 40s, and you can do whatever the hell you want in your 20s.
That is true. I don't think that you're ever too old, but I do think like the way you go about it should probably change.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I could pull off anything that I wore in college or even high school.
Yeah. No. The thing that I love so much, and I agree with you by the way, I don't know if I would wear any of the outfits that I wore in college now. I think the thing that's cool about like the way that things are right now though is because like, not to bring them up again, but because of like the Kardashians and people of that age, like Megan Fox, you're seeing these people who are like moms in their 40s and like approaching like their 50s who are like, you know what, I can still like be like hot and like dress up and like kind of do whatever I want. But the also cool thing is that if you don't want to do that, then don't. Because I agree, I don't think I'm gonna be going as like a bunny anymore.
A Playboy bunny?
Or like anything. Just any sort of like a whatever.
You don't have plans this weekend because you have a wedding, so you won't be dressing up.
I have a wedding, and I was formal. Like, and Michael, so I have the wedding, and Michael's like, should we sneak theme? And I was like, I'm down to sneak theme.
Well, isn't he in the wedding? How's he gonna sneak theme? I don't know. Doesn't he have like a picked out tux?
Is a sneak theme a thing for anyone other than us? Is that like a thing? I always wonder that. Did we make that up, or is that like actually a thing? Peter, is sneak theme a thing?
I've never heard of it, but I love it.
So in college, we used to have these parties, and it's actually kind of funny. We used to have these like parties, and our friend group would just like choose a theme, and we would dress up, but we wouldn't tell anyone coming to the party that there was a theme. So everyone would show up, and like one time we made it like workout theme, so we were all wearing like sports bras, and then we had like fake weights, and like we like drew on fake abs and like put on like whatever, all this like crazy like 80s workout stuff. And everyone showed up to this party and was like, wait, what the fuck are you guys wearing? And we were like, oh my God, you guys didn't get the theme? That's like awesome. So embarrassing.
I hope you just like made it like seem like it was a coincidence too. It's like, oh my God,
yeah,
you wore
so
this
weird. No, we
well?
just this is like how we dress, and we just would sneak theme. And we would always have so much fun because like I feel like that's what I want to say. I feel like when you're dressed up, you just have fun, more fun.
It is fun.
But okay, so I guess before we get too much into like the costumes and stuff, how about what we're doing? Like, how are people celebrating Halloween in Boston?
So I feel like there's the classic house party route, which I feel like a majority of people will probably result in because it's supposed to rain this weekend. Like Mystery Man and I wanted to go to Six Flags this weekend for Fright Fest, but it's supposed to like rain. So I don't think that's happening. And I know Noka is having like a boat cruise this Friday. That'll probably get canceled because of the rain. So I feel like bar crawls and like going to the club. I know Loud Luxury is this weekend.
We had a lot of, we put up a poll earlier asking people what they were doing to celebrate, just so we could like let you guys know what people were thinking. We did get a lot of people say that they were going to Loud Luxury at Big Night. We got a lot of the boat cruise at Noka. Also Marielle, they're having like a costume party on Thursday
that you can win cash.
For. And then Peter, what's happening? It's Memoir is having a
Memoir on Sunday. They're doing like a same
Sunday
costume
night
party. Yeah.
Ooh, we should go to that. But isn't there like a cash prize, or do we have the wrong information?
Yeah, no, I think that there is some kind of prize. It's either cash or I think they might be giving away tickets to some big fight.
I wonder like what, like
fight.
How creative your costume would have to be to win something like that. You'd have to go like really hard, right? Like fully painted, like, I don't know.
I wonder if I'd dress up as a DJ if I'd win.
We should all go as like this, as a DJ.
Yeah.
Just wear like the headphones.
Be on brand.
Yeah.
I Marshmallow. Like it. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But I think, me personally, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but I'm kind of digging like the whole house party vibe. And that might be part because I'm getting older, part because COVID has made me a homebody now. But I think hosting can be fun. Like, not that bars and clubs don't have like their own decorations, but I think it's just like so cute when you can like do your own thing and,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that there's like something so fun about doing something with like your group of friends and like you said, hosting and like decorating and like that whole shindig. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I do think that when you're a little bit, maybe when you just graduate college or like even now, honestly, if you want to, I think the events are super fun. There's usually like bar crawls. You can go to like Halloween themed ones. If you go to like the clubs, they obviously have these like rippers for Halloween. I also wanted to note that if you're like single and you go like out to an event like that, I feel like it's like a good opportunity to meet people because there's something about being in a costume and almost like not being yourself that night that like I feel like gives people like a weird sense of confidence.
Yeah, like Abby has no confidence, but freaking Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Maximum level of confidence.
The amount of girls I see walking around on Halloween night that have like the fucking baseball bats and like swinging them around. And they're like, "What's up, baby?" Like just being so obnoxious. And it's probably like, Jessica and like Jennifer and Hillary who are just like, walking to their 9 to 5, like typically on like a Monday morning with like a blouse on. But when they're going out that weekend, because they're dressed up like Harley Quinn, they're like, what is it that she says? She says a bunch of fucked up stuff.
Something daddy.
But they're like daddy's little monster.
Yeah,
daddy's little monster. And they're like going crazy, like running around the town. I feel like it just makes things fun, and you can kind of just like be like confident and like go out and like meet people in a way that maybe you normally wouldn't.
I agree, but there's also costumes that can, not give you confidence, or maybe you think that you have confidence, but what you wanted to do isn't working. Because listen, like, girls get shit on all the time for their choice of Halloween costume.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that, guys don't get shit on enough for their Halloween
I love
costumes.
that you just fucking said that. I feel like girls get ripped apart. We're always like, oh, we're too basic, or we're too that, or we're too this or that. But
too
I feel
slutty.
Like, no, why is no one ever coming for the men? The men are 20 times worse than the girls are.
It's actually quite cringy. It's like they want to put in the minimal amount of effort. I mean, freaking Michael and Mystery Man, how many years have they been the hot dog?
They are the hot dog every year. He's been going as a hot dog
despicable.
Every single year since I met him. When I was a junior,
That's the problem.
When I was a junior in college, I wanted to go as like, obviously it's like super cringy, but I wanted to go as like Aladdin and Jasmine. And I got this like cute Jasmine outfit, and Michael refused to go as Aladdin because he was like, I need to go as a fucking hot dog. So his friend Austin had to buy like an Aladdin outfit to like be part of my like couple costume, which was really nice of him.
Friends
but
don't
Michael was
friends.
like, yeah, no, you dress up with Shannen. Like, I refuse. I'm going as the hot dog.
That's a good friend. Friends don't let friends let costumes go to waste.
Exactly.
Well,
it did mean a lot to me.
I think there's like a few different routes that you can take with your Halloween costume. Like, you can obviously go like slutty or like normal or like cute. Even like, I like punny costumes, but we can get to that later. But you can be funny, you can be goofy. Literally, you can be goofy if you want. But you know, what you choose as your costume says a lot about you.
I agree. And that's why we kind of said like, with the girls' costumes, the reason we said we were not going to shit on them is because regardless of what a girl does, you know that this bitch she planned this shit out ever since August. She's probably been going to the gym, you know, doing double sessions for the past month. She's probably like I don't know, like eating laxatives, like doing whatever she can to be skinny for her freaking Halloween outfit.
And going to the tanning bed 5 days a week.
Like obsessing over it, probably spent a bunch of money, probably bought like 6 different outfits, wanted to pick the one that looked best. So whatever she does, whether she is dressed as a Playboy bunny or a mouse, or if she's trying to pick something that's like super like original and witty, like whatever she does, she really can't be wrong because of how much effort she put in.
Yes, like you get an A+, whereas men... No, I don't care what you are. If you did not, you know, prep for it more than 24 hours in advance, I don't care.
Okay. So what are some things that we are liking, not liking?
Okay. I hate when guys wear a jersey as a costume and call that a costume.
A jersey is not a costume.
It's lazy, and it just reminds me that, you know, you wanted to be a professional athlete when you were younger, but you weren't good enough.
It just reminds me that you're not over that you peaked in high school.
It just reminds me that you're under 6 feet. I'm sorry.
I feel like I see so many guys who are like at the bar and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you? And he's like, oh, look, I'm an NBA player.
Like, no, you're not.
I'm like, no, you would wear that fucking jersey any single day of the week to the bar.
On
like
Southeast Sunday.
It's like, oh, really, Jared? Because I'm pretty sure I saw you last weekend wearing that jersey.
Yeah. It's just like a lazy excuse, and I feel like it's a lazy excuse for a costume, and it probably symbolizes how you would be in a relationship.
Lazy. No effort. You know what the guy who's wearing a jersey is doing in his free time? He probably lives in the Southie. He probably puts minimal effort into most things. He's probably the guy that's like, oh, my camera doesn't work on the Zoom call every fucking morning. He'll be sitting back, smoking a bong all day. He probably has like one night stand, never calls the girl back. He's just lazy, doesn't do his laundry. He probably like turns his underwear inside out like after he wears it once. That's like the type of guy that we're talking about who wears the jersey. Another thing, like I probably think you're a little boring. Like you're not, like Halloween's the one time where you can show people like how creative you are and you're like, ooh, like I'm not creative.
I'm not creative. What else do you hate?
Speaking of not creative, the nerd. I've seen some nerds that maybe are like fine. I remember this guy I used to see like literally put on like a pair of glasses and was like, oh, I'm going as a nerd.
I think it's just disrespectful. Like you throw on glasses and suspenders. That's someone's daily wardrobe.
Yeah, like that's someone's son. And you're
someone's son. And you're pretending to be him.
Why are you being offensive to the nerds? Like what did the nerds ever do to you? No, I'm kidding.
Except literally give you the answer to the homework.
Yeah, like you're making fun of the guy that you cheated off of. The reason why you graduated high school,
you're because of the
you're
nerd.
Making fun of him. Really? No. Really, Jared? Classic.
Sure.
No, honestly, my bigger issue with the nerd is like, this is going to sound bad, but I feel like if I'm a girl and I'm single, I'm ready to mingle, and I'm at the bar and I've had a few tequila shots and I'm looking around the room, I'm probably not going to pick out the guy that's like trying to look super nerdy.
No.
And be like, wow, like that's the guy. Like, that's the guy I want to talk to.
What I'm freaking looking around the room searching for is a fucking firefighter with his shirt off and suspenders. Give me those suspenders.
So Abby and I and my sister were actually comprising a list, trying to like just think of like our past with Halloween costumes. All three of us literally unanimously were like, wait, firefighter. Like, if you go as a firefighter, you will not lose.
No.
And I don't care what you look like, who you are, like if you have a nice body, if you don't go to the gym at all, like it doesn't matter. I don't care if you put a freaking t-shirt on under the outfit, but if you put on like a firefighter outfit, girls are going to see you and they're like, yes, hot, athletic. He's gonna rescue me.
He's
like
gonna protect me.
Yes, exactly. I don't know what it is, but like it may sound so cheesy and corny, but if you see a firefighter at the bar, who doesn't like a freaking firefighter?
Do I want to actually date a firefighter? No, because they work too many hours that are inconvenient for me, and they might not come home one day. So I don't want to date a firefighter. Will I bring home a firefighter costume? Yeah. Sure.
Amazing.
Boom. Golden ticket to bringing home Jessica from Capo. You're welcome.
Yes. Jessica definitely is looking for a firefighter.
Yes.
100%.
It's the baggy pants. Honestly, the baggy pants remind me of Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber's into baggy pants now. I don't know if you've noticed.
Where the fuck did this just go? What?
It's just even further proving that firefighter costume, hot. Justin Bieber, hot.
If you want to show
go as fucking Justin Bieber.
Yeah, if you have like a nice chest, you want to show it a little bit. But okay, here's the thing though. You don't want to go too far with like showing off your body as a man. Another thing I don't like, when a man wears like a tight, like latexy, like Speedo, I can see his ass cheeks.
Like a onesie of any sort that's tight.
I just like don't need to know.
Wait, what's going on under there?
Women don't want to like see that. Like I don't need to see man thigh when I'm at the bar trying to enjoy a cocktail. Like I don't want to see a guy's like butt cheeks. Like I don't want to know that you can bench press 350 pounds and like know that by the muscles in your butt. Like I just don't. And it's just not a turn on. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like too much like showing like your skin is just not really it, if that makes sense.
And then fake muscles, like the costumes that like have the fake muscle on their arms. I think that it's, alluding to the fact that you don't have real muscles.
Like why did you have to put on these fake muscles?
Yeah.
I feel like any of like the onesie like costumes for the most part, unless it's really funny. That was another thing I was gonna say. Like if you're a guy that's genuinely hilarious and you're just like super, super funny and you put together like a costume that like, okay, maybe it's not like quote unquote hot, which is like fine, but it's like funny. I feel like girls like that too. If it's like a conversation starter where a girl's like, oh my God, like, are you this? I think that's cute.
What were the boys last year? I think, did Michael Bart? I know Mystery Man did, but they all wore white t-shirts and then they had a black Sharpie in every drink that they drank. Where's that from?
Okay, it's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where they're on the airplane and they're trying to like out drink whatever the record was for amount of like beers drunken in like an airplane or something, and they like had like the tallies on their hands and how much they drank.
So they did it on their shirts instead.
Yeah, or on their shirts or something like that. Honestly, the costume was really freaking lazy, I will say.
It was
super lazy.
Would you rather the hot dog over that?
Would I rather the hot dog or the white t-shirt? Like I just wish that there was other options to choose from.
I know.
Like it's hard to admit that. Yeah,
that's the best that they could come up with.
I know. It's sad. Well, that's the other type of guy. That was the guy that's been in a relationship for way too long, so he doesn't have to try.
Right.
I don't know. It's like the classic, like we always talk about this. Like, would it be for our benefit if our boyfriends just broke up with us for a few weeks so we could just like hit the gym, like do a little like self-care, and we'd be like bada bing, bada boom. But we digress. Yeah, fake muscle costumes. I feel like, how do you feel about superheroes? Do you like when a man dresses as a superhero for Halloween?
It doesn't really do anything for me, mainly because I don't really know the difference between all of them. Like I know Spider-Man.
Yeah, like the spider. Yeah.
Like he's red and blue, and then Batman's.
Wait.
Yeah, his costume's
red and blue. Okay. Why I think it was red and black? Maybe it's just like a navy blue. Anyways, go on.
Batman is all black? ?
He's like, yeah,
and yellow,
and like yellow, and like there's some like gray in there somewhere.
Okay, and that's all I know.
Okay. Yeah,
and I don't like superhero movies.
You don't like superhero movies.
No,
okay. So I honestly, I respect the whole theme of the superhero vibe because again, like we said, like women like the whole like rescue, like whatever thing. I think there's like two ways to do it. I think you can make it like, I don't like the like full on outfit, like you said, with like the fake muscles that are like out to here and almost like takes up like a bunch of space at the bar. And there's like an inflatable suit with like a airbag under it, and he's like a sumo wrestler, and he's 15 feet tall, and you can't even talk to him because like the thing that's blowing up his suit is like constantly making noise. Like I don't love that. I think my sister said this. There was like one of her friends went out last Halloween, and he wore like a button, like a white button up and like glasses, but under the white button up was like you could see like the superhero like emblem, and he was like Clark Kent but like half like Superman,
like hidden.
And I guess it's like kind of like hot because it's like the classic like, oh, he's like Clark Kent, but like is he a little bit of Superman too? Like something that's like a little like witty like that I like. Exactly.
Mysterious.
He wasn't wearing like a skin tight outfit. He wasn't wearing fake muscles, but it was like very obviously Clark Kent. I feel like I could see girls liking that.
I think if you want to impress a girl, the only route to go is to be firefighter, a bad boy. So like a prisoner inmate, like a Michael Scofield kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like a hot prisoner with like fake tattoos.
Or anything that is a rich, successful career. So like a doctor, a lawyer.
Yes.
I don't know how you dress up as a lawyer, like just a suit and a briefcase. I don't know.
Just like paint on a picture of Harvey Specter from Suits onto your face, and like that you're good to go. Basically,
I just think like embody like who you think a woman would desire and dress up as that.
Doctor's also so fun now that you just mentioned it, because if you're the doctor, first off, girls love doctors. Second off, you can get like the fake shots, like, you know what I mean, and like do like give the girls like shots, like a conversation starter. You give like a stethoscope. Shot, yeah, there's just like a lot of fun things. Any way that you can start a conversation with someone, I think
can I check your blood pressure?
I also just don't like, and this goes for girls and boys, I don't like when people wear things that are so complicated that like no one gets it. Like I feel like I see people at the bar and they're like wearing like a purple t-shirt and they have like a gallon of like spoiled milk that they're holding, and then they also have like, you know, their nails are like a bunch of different colors, and then they have like a mustache on, and I'm like, what are you? And they're like, oh, like I'm the Instagram filter, like when you like turn sideways. Like I'm like, what are you talking about? Like no one's gonna get that. Don't do that.
I think
it's
if
fucking
you
weird.
Have to include, so you know when people like post on Instagram the next day and they post, you know, them in their costume, and then you swipe to the next picture and it's a photo of what they were dressing up as. If you have to include a photo of what you were
to explain what
you were, you probably just shouldn't.
And I don't like to see people that are like going as Instagram filters. I see so much of that in my everyday fucking life. Like go as a vampire, go as a princess, go as a fucking Playboy bunny, like literally go as anything except for an Instagram filter. That's the one thing I'll say against the girls out there. Sorry, I know we said we weren't going to shit on you, but here I am.
Would it surprise you if I told you like the first probably like at least first 5 years of my life, I was a princess every single year?
No,
there's photos.
Would not surprise me.
It was pink too.
Oh,
I actually have a lot of cute photos of me as a baby princess.
It's actually so cute.
I should bring it back for this year. Honestly, I haven't gotten anything yet. I haven't bought a costume yet.
We'll go and get you one. It'll be like a last minute thing.
Well,
that's fun though. But yeah, moral of the story, girls, you can do whatever the hell you want except for the Instagram filters. And boys, just go as a fireman. I want to see every boy running around the bar looking like a firefighter, and you'll be good to go.
Absolutely.
You will be having a great Halloween.
It is. And I'm kind of stressed because I don't know what I'm doing. And if I don't go to Six Flags, then I'm going to have to like go to Party City and get a costume. But I'm also kind of torn because I don't want to buy money. Like I don't want to spend money on a costume. I kind of like, I feel like over the years
do you have like a box of, I have a box of like,
yeah, they're at home, like home I'd have to go and get them, but I might just do that because I think it's such a waste of money to spend.
No, that's such a valid point, because I think over the years, like I probably could put a bunch of random shit together, because I have like a box of like wigs and like random ass shit that I've used. I could probably, I don't know. I think Halloween costumes are honestly expensive, especially if you go to like Party City and buy them. And then you put everything together and you're like, I just spent $150. And I feel like this time of the year in particular is just such an expensive time of the year. So it's almost like I can't afford
like Christmas is literally, I don't know if you know that, it's 2 months away.
Is it really?
It is.
Christmas is 2 months. You're right.
It's scary. And then we have New Year's.
And we're exactly 2 months away.
As we're recording it is. Yeah, I know. It's insane. 2 months. And then we have New Year's. And like a lot of people like to go away for New Year's. And it's like, all these things are sneaking up on you. It's like, okay, you got to start thinking about Christmas and buying presents. And it's like, and then I need to save money for, you know, our trip to Arizona. And it's like, I don't really want to, like, all the little things add up, like a Halloween costume. Like, no.
You're right. No, I think it's so true. It's like the time of the year where I start to get really bad anxiety. And then you realize how many people you have to get gifts for. And you're like, shit.
That's why I have minimal friends.
Obviously, I keep my circle small so I don't have to buy people things.
Yeah, exactly.
You talk such a big game, but you know that your love language is gift giving.
I do, but that's why I have to have very little people to gift give because I gift give so much.
Well, we did want to bring up though, guys, budgeting, especially this time of the year. We've actually had so many girls, like randomly, right? Like like within the past 2 weeks, I swear.
I know.
We've had a ton of people slide into our DMs asking us for advice on budgeting, saving money. They're like, I graduated college. I don't know how to adult. How do I save money? Like, what do I do?
I literally wanted to answer and be like, hate to break it to you, sis, but
we'll let you know when we figure it out.
Ask me out of all people. But I think, I can speak for myself. I've definitely come a long way. Mm-hmm. And if I can help anyone not make the same mistakes that I did, then I'll call that a win.
If you're listening to this and you feel like when you hear like financial advice, it's from someone who's a lot smarter than you.
And older, wiser.
Then then have no fear because Abby and I are none of those things.
Yeah, we're not financial advisors or budgeting wizards, but we are two 20-something gals that,
have maxed out a few different credit cards and have learned the hard way.
The hard way.
We wanted to like break down a little bit about like how to save money, some things that we've done and make it super practical and like easy so people aren't like talking about fucking like prior year and EBITDA and all that bullshit. We just wanted to talk about like some things we've done that have helped us with trying to save money and also not trying to dip into our savings every month when our credit card bill comes out. Not that that's ever happened to me. But first we did put up a poll.
We did. So you obviously have your monthly expenses like rent, student loans, car payment, car insurance, gas, groceries, phone bill. The list goes on and on and on. And then it's like, okay, once all my money is spent towards my bills, all right, what the hell is left over and what am I spending my money on? So we wanted to ask you guys, what do you think you spend the most of your money on? And the results were not surprising.
No, it's the exact same shit that we spend all of our money on. So the number one thing that people said was eating out, delivery, takeout, and
those
like dinner,
three
drinks
will kill you.
They will literally crazy murder you. So that was number one. Number two, well, we had like a bunch of them after that. Number two was definitely clothes/shopping, especially from all the girls out there. We got a ton of shopping. And then the rest of them we saw like pretty consistently, like drinks after work. Coffee.
Ugh,
Ubers, the club, weddings, Boston parking, traveling, concert tickets.
Honestly, the list goes on and on, but basically it's everything that makes life worth living.
Everything that makes you want to continue.
The problem is that you can't do all those fun things if you don't know how to budget. And so I think honestly the most important thing to do is like when you get a job or even if you get a raise, honestly your budget should always be changing because your financial situation is always changing,
True.
Especially with COVID. Some people lost their jobs, some people got I know people that got pay cuts, and it's horrible and it's stressful. And if you don't have a plan, it can be extremely intimidating. And I know it sounds so obvious, like duh, set a budget. But I know my biggest regret, like when I first started my first big girl job out of college, like I didn't set a budget. And
I just think you'll figure it out.
I don't know what I was so stupid. I mean, I was 21 years old and I thought I knew everything. And, I actually had no idea how much I was spending on my mandatory expenses. I didn't know how much disposable income I actually had left over. And I think, taking the time to sit down and really write everything down, like that's something that I did in my notes on my phone. I wrote down every single one of my bills, how much they each were, what day of the month they all fell on, and then you do the math and you see what you have left. And
such a good point. I actually think the number one reason why people continuously don't have the ability to like save money, or they feel like they're constantly like, oh my gosh, like I'm overdrawing on my on my checking account again, is because they actually don't know how much money they have for spending. You see a paycheck come through on Friday and you're like, oh my gosh, great, I have, I don't know, like let's say you're like, wait, that's sick, I just got $1,000 deposited into my checking account. You're like, okay, I can spend $1,000. Well, it's like, no, how much of that is going to your reoccurring Netflix? How much of that is going towards your gym, towards your parking, towards your apartment, like all that stuff. So that is definitely number one. I actually have an Excel sheet that I like send to people. If you guys want it, I can send it to you.
Send it to me.
DM me if you want that. But it is an Excel sheet that literally just breaks everything down. And then on like the right side, it can just calculate like, okay, with all of those fixed monthly prices, here's how much you have to spend. Another rule, if you don't want to get like super, because maybe some people are like, listen, bitch, I'm not going to use an Excel sheet. If you want to just get a little bit like, you know, more, I guess like loose about it and just kind of figure it out. One thing that Michael does that he always taught me to do is like the 50-30-20 budgeting rule. Do you know what that is?
I do now. As of today.
So basically the whole idea is 50% of your needs. So 50% of your paycheck should go to your needs. Needs includes groceries, housing, utilities, health insurance, car payment, etc.
All the non-fun stuff.
The non-fun stuff that like keeps you alive.
Mandatory expenses that you're going to see every single month without a doubt.
30% should go to your wants. Wants include shopping, dining out, hobbies, traveling, etc. And then hypothetically, if you're lucky, 20% should go to your savings, which is just money that you have kept away. Now, with that being said, I understand that everyone's situations are different. So how much money you make, let's say you make enough money to the point where your needs don't end up being 50% of your paycheck.
It could be 40.
Which means that you would have more percentage to spend on your wants or your savings. So let's say only 40% of your paycheck goes to your needs. That means you could have 30% to wants, 30% to savings, or 40% to wants, 20% to savings. Sorry if those numbers aren't making sense, because I know I hate when people just like throw numbers at me. Basically, as long as you're like adhering to this, then you should be able to put away a little bit every single month. And basically you're going to take that 30%, which is your wants, and you're going to divide that out and be able to see how much money you can spend every single week on, you know, getting your nails done, going shopping, etc. So that's like a rule of thumb.
But so once you figure that out, I also think it's super important. Like you need to determine what is more important to you. So, you know, the 50-40-20 rule that Shannen mentioned is super, super helpful. But, you know, those wants and the savings, you have to ask yourself, okay, like what is more important to me? Do I want to get my nails done every 2 weeks, or would I rather go out to dinner with my friends every single weekend? Can I afford to go out to dinner on Friday night and go out to brunch on Sunday? Like what can I do? What can I do? And you have to think about those little things because they add up. And even the savings part, like, do you want to, you know, start investing, or do you want your money to sit in a savings account? You know, investing is great, but can you afford to invest right now? Because, you know, once you start investing, that money is there. You can't touch that. But do you need a savings account also? Because you need to, you know, have money in case, you know, your car has a flat tire and you need a couple $100 up front. And like you need to plan for those like emergency scenarios.
100%. I think all that stuff is so important. And to your point, Abby, I think you do have to determine what's best for you. Also, a quick little aside on the savings thing. I know a lot of people are like, listen, that 30% for like the wants category goes by way too fast and I need to dip into my savings and I can't save any money. That's fine. I'm like one of those people where like if I see it, I'll use it. So like if I see the money in my checking, I'll use it. One thing is like a lot of people's like places of work, like you can actually talk to like your payroll team at work and have it so that like automatically they put a certain percentage of your paycheck into your like savings account like every single like 2 weeks or every week or whenever you get paid. So that's something you can do as well if it like you just don't have the strength to do it yourself, but you know you need to do it.
I know it's hard. It really is. It's easier said than done, but you know, you have to determine what's important to you because, you know, some people are materialistic where they like to buy things. Some people are the type, you know, where they like to spend their money on experiences. And, you know, some people there are people that they want to own a house by the time that they're 30 and they want to have investment properties. And those are the things where it's like, all right, well, you have to have the self-control to not touch that money if you want to achieve those things.
So true. No, I think that's a great point. And I also I think what you said about self-control, if like you try to do this, guys, and like you like fuck up one month and you're like, oh, like I spent like more money than I was supposed to, it's okay. I think like the biggest thing is just being self-aware. Cause like to Abby's point, her and I both, when we graduated college, we didn't even think about any of this shit. No. We were like, oh my gosh, I'm in the real world. I have a paycheck. Let's freaking go. I'm going to go buy myself a pair of Louboutins. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a second. Why do I have no money? Because you just have no concept of how much money you have. So just start doing this. Even if you don't follow it exactly, eventually you'll get there.
Dude, when I first got out of college, I it was so bad of me. And if you're like this, you need to stop and grow up. But when I don't want to like think about things, I avoid things. So I would just not check my bank account. Yeah, I never checked my bank account. I was like, man, it is what it is. And then I'd be surprised when I would get declined. And I'd be like, oh
my gosh, I was saying when I came back from one weekend in New York City when I first graduated, I'll never forget, I didn't look at it for like a month. I just like didn't want to know what was in there.
Yeah, I was like, ignorance is bliss. I'm just gonna keep swiping until I can't swipe anymore.
Yeah, and then I checked it.
So bad. And
don't do that. I had a $0 balance when I checked it, and I was like, oh my god, someone literally broke in and stole all my money. Those bastards.
Immediately calls
on the phone
fraud.
I'm on the phone with my bank. They're like, ma'am, like this, like. It says that someone spent $300 at Zara. I was like, it wasn't me. They're like, we have video footage of you walking into Zara. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. A doppelganger. But yeah, so I think with the picking a thing, someone once told me you can have a thing, but you can't have everything. Trust me, I know that there's girls listening to this who are like, I don't care if I am living on the street, I need to get my nails done every 2 weeks. That's fine. If you're
that's your thing. That's totally
fine. If you're listening to this and you're like, I'm really into skincare and I like buying really expensive products and like that's just so important to me, that's fine. If you wanted to buy the really nice car and you're like, it's, you know, maybe a little bit more than I can afford, but it means so much to me, that's fine. But I think what we're trying to say is, to Abby's point, you can't get, you know, the BMW with the beige interior and get your nails done every 2 weeks and get your hair done and get a facial and buy a bunch of skincare products. Like, you're not going to be able to afford everything. So you have to pick what's most important to you, and then you can't be scared to, like, unfortunately, for a while at least, say no to the things that aren't the most important to you. Yeah. So figure out what that is. Like, is it an experience? Is it, you know, materialistic things?
Or is it having a really nice apartment because you're, you know, you might be a homebody and you don't really like to travel, so you'd rather spend more money a month on your rent because you're going to spend the most time there. That's fine.
That's a great point. That's always how I was.
A homebody?
Spending
money on rent?
Not even like a homebody, just more like all these people I worked with, like when they hit like certain big benchmarks at their job, they all were like, we want to buy like a really nice car. And they did. And for me, like I've had the same car since college, but I just wanted to like live in the seaport. Like that was always my goal. And I was like, I don't care if I have to like literally not go shopping for a full year and like drive an old car. Like I just want to live in the seaport. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that was my thing and I did it.
Yeah. Like right now I am so torn because my car is paid off. It's a 2014 Honda Civic. There's nothing wrong with it. Knock on frickin' wood. Knock on frickin' wood.
Lately at least.
I know. I literally over the summer I had to drop so much money. But my car is paid off and I want a new car. I want a Honda Civic, but I want a newer Honda Civic. But I'm like, oh, right now I'm like having so much fun not having a monthly car payment. Like
it is nice.
I don't like, is that something that I want to do right now? And it's like, well, can I afford it? Yes. But like, should I, like, I might as well just save that money.
Right.
Because there's really no reason for me to get a new car. 100%. There really isn't. Honestly, my only defense, the only way I would justify it is that I need a safer car. I'm such an asshole driver and I want a new car that will like beep when I'm in the wrong lane.
Yeah, I think you need like this isn't like coming for, I guess it is coming for you. I don't know what you need, but there are some serious things going on with your driving that terrify me. The red light incident earlier.
Oh, I was distracted.
You were too busy fighting with the car next to us to stop at the red light, and we were like in the middle of the intersection. She slams on the brakes, like we're like flying into the window. And
while she's like, on a call.
Yeah, I was literally like on a call like for work, and literally I go like flying into the windshield. They're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm just another day driving with Abby. Like no worries." Just
yeah, so I just need a safer car, but right now I'm like, no, like. I'm going to wait because I'm going to move next year. I'm going to move into a nicer apartment. I'm like, no, like I want to, you know, start saving for that apartment so that I can buy like all new furniture and stuff. So that's the decision I've made. Do I want a new car? Yes, I don't need it. So those are the questions that you have to ask yourself.
I think what we're going to break down, we're going to bring this up because we're going to bring up some like practical things we do as opposed to just like getting to like preachy on here about saving money. Because I know sometimes it's like, all right, dude, like I get it. I should save money. But
how can you save money?
Before we get into like the hows for like the different categories, one thing I recommend, if you follow a lot of influencers and shit on Instagram, I love them. Trust me, like I love my influencers. I follow them. They give me so many good tips. If you feel like they are causing you issues when it comes to spending,
if you're a sucker,
it might make sense to like either go off Instagram for a while or maybe like like is there a way you can like mute them? Yeah. Just because I know I'm victim of this, but I'll be scrolling through Instagram and I'll see all these girls who are like, wow, like I just love my new La Mer, like it makes my skin beautiful, and like that's how I always look like this. And all of a sudden you're on your shopping cart trying to look up a fucking discount code on Honey because you want to buy $300 lotion and see if you can get it for $220 because you're like, wow, that's more justifiable. And then right after that you see a girl who just got a brand new espresso machine that's like $1,000 and you're like, wow, like I feel like I'd be happier if I had one of those.
I would save so much money.
And it gives you like what my mom always calls the wants, where you're like, you were perfectly fine before, but now that you know someone has this, you won't be happy without it. Mm-hmm. If you get like that, then just like take a break from the influencers for a while, because sometimes
they're damn good at their job.
Sometimes I feel like I don't need any shit until I see people who are using it, and then I'm like, all right, I need that now, and it's like a FOMO thing. But anyways, the first thing, eating out. What do you recommend? What are some tips for eating out?
Okay, so this one is so tough, and I think it's tough for everyone because that was like the number one response. But for me, okay, so I've been trying to be really good about only going out to eat on the weekend. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's so tempting to want to, you know, Taco Tuesday, go get tacos on a Tuesday, or, you know, Wednesday.
Why Wednesday?
Yeah, there's always an excuse to go out to eat and go out to drink. But what, you know, and I am getting better about not doing it like Monday through
Friday.
Wednesday. Monday through Wednesday, because, you know, Thursday sometimes. But basically, if it's not the weekend, alcohol adds up. So not ordering alcohol with dinner just because you think you have to.
Yes. That's actually like the number one thing I was going to say. I was talking to a girl from work the other day. Yeah, I was talking to a girl from work the other day, and she was like, oh, like, I feel like I'm spending so much fucking money going out to eat. And I was like, and she was like, what do you do? Like, what are things you do when you go out to eat? And I told her, I was like, listen, I go out to eat all the time, and I have to admit, like, it is an issue, and I do need to work on it. Obviously, like, weekends, like maybe go out once or twice on weekends, but during the week, when Michael and I go out during the week, we try to make it a point to not get alcohol with dinner. And I'm not saying that because I'm like, you shouldn't be drinking, like do whatever the hell you want. If you're going out and you're like going for like a girls' night and you're trying to go around the town and get after it, then sure, get drinks. But if it's like a random like Wednesday night and you're just like going out just to go out, just to get dinner, just to not cook. Exactly. That's the difference. If you're going out because you want the experience of having a night, or are you just going out to not cook? If that's the case and you're sitting there at the restaurant and you're getting a drink just because you feel like it's the thing you're supposed to do because you're an adult, just don't do it. Because what ends up happening is Michael and I will spend like, we'll get bills for like $50, $25 each for a dinner, versus spending like $70 each because we decided to get a bunch of alcohol, which like we didn't even really need because we weren't even really trying to like drink a lot. We just got it because we were like, oh, we feel like we should. I just think that's like the number one thing. Like, don't spend too much money on booze. Also, set rules for yourself. I think that's the biggest one. Yeah, like for instance, only eat out once or twice a week instead of doing it 3 to 4 times a week because it adds up. People who wrote into for coffee, because I kind of looped that in with drinking and eating, I think I love getting a coffee every single day, but if you break down why you like getting a coffee, it's because you actually like the process of the experience of going out of your apartment, walking to your coffee shop, like grabbing a coffee, like walking around. So what I implore you to do is buy like a nice like coffee maker, and I don't mean like $1,000 like brand new espresso machine. You get a special machine for like $30 on Amazon if you want to find one. Get like even $100 is fine. Yes, get like a nice espresso machine. Get some nice cups off of Amazon, like the see-through like influencer looking ones, and then make yourself like a cup of coffee every morning. I guarantee you're gonna get the same feeling, and then go walk around the fucking common if you want with it. Yeah. You will get the exact same experience, and you'll feel like special. And over time, you're gonna save so much money, especially if you're getting Starbucks every day. $6 a day on a coffee, like that is so much money. When I first started my big girl job out of college, I was getting Starbucks every single, I'm not even kidding. But recently, this past year, I've been really good about it. And I think it's because I found creamers that I really like, because that was my biggest thing. And now that there's so many oat milk and almond milk creamers on the market, it's been easy for me to actually enjoy making my coffee at home. But now I've set a rule where Monday through Thursday, I won't buy coffee, and I'll allow myself to get Starbucks like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I love it. And then it's like a treat. Yeah. Okay. So the next one, shopping. This one is huge. It's something I've struggled with. I've like gone in and out of shopping addiction, I think, for multiple years now. I actually do get like a high when I'm shopping, like full transparency. And it's something I've been trying to work on. Like I said, the influencer thing, I think that doesn't help. But I think Here's the biggest thing. You should allow yourself, if shopping is like important to you and you love fashion, you love clothes, just like I do, like, and you want to allow yourself to have some like nice things, like do it. But you can't be spending like $300 every weekend at Aritzia. Like that's going to add up. So I think the biggest thing is like, again, buy staples, like buy like a really nice like top that's like a staple that you know you're going to wear all the time, or like that really nice pair of jeans that you know you're going to wear every single weekend, and spend some money on it if you want. But when it comes to like, I know when I first started my full-time job, like when it comes to work clothes, all of a sudden you're like, I need to get this like bright, like really nice like wardrobe for work. I would get my whole wardrobe off of Boohoo or like a site like that online. You can literally get like a pair of dress pants for like $12, a shirt for like $7. Get like a few things from there, wear those to work. And then over the years, as you start to make more money, you start to save more, like you can start to trade it out for like a nice blazer, like a nice pair of trousers, whatever. But I honestly think that the way that you accessorize, like if you wear like honestly half the shit that I wear, people think that I probably spend like a decent amount of money on my clothes. Most of it I'm getting off of like Boohoo, Shein, Fashion Nova, websites like that. And then I'll have just like a really like a nice jacket on that I spent some money on, and that'll make it look like I have an expensive outfit. But in reality, it's just one thing that's expensive and everything else is like super cheap. Yeah. So I think that's like probably the best advice I have with shopping.
Advice I have is, do not, if you are an impulse buyer, you have to learn how to fight it. And I know one thing that's helped me is if I see something that I really like, whether it's online or at the mall or wherever, Newbury Street, the Peru, wherever I am, I'll look at it, I'll take a picture of it, I'll do whatever I have to do, and I'll go home and think about it.
Yes.
And I know it sounds so stupid, like sleep on it, but if you know, a day goes by, a couple days, a week, a month, whatever, if you can't stop thinking about that, then go ahead, buy it. But impulse buys, you can, find yourself buying $50 worth of socks just because you're like, oh, they're pink, they're cute.
Yeah.
I literally have pink socks from like Nike or Adidas just because I thought
in
that
the
they were
moment.
cute. And the tags are still
and you know
on
when you go to the register and you know you're making a decision as you're doing it, but you can't stop and you're like sweating, and like as soon as like you get the receipt, you like have like the anxiety and like the regret, but like you can't stop. It's a horrible feeling. Last thing on that, like anything trendy, don't spend a ton of money on trendy stuff. Like all of like the one shoulder and like the this and the that like people are wearing. The way that trends work these days, we've talked about it before, things go in and out of style in like 2 months. It's insane. Get your shit off of Shein. All of my like trendy going out clothes that I know are probably not going to be in style in like 3 months, 4 months, I get off of Shein. And honestly, as long as you read the reviews, the stuff's like decent quality, and then you can buy more of it and it's fine. But don't be like spending a ton of money on some like really expensive website and then you're not going to wear it in a few months.
I have another tip.
Okay.
So if you are also someone like Shannen that loves shopping and you just like can't fight the urge, work on it. However, if you really need to buy something, set a rule for yourself that, okay, I'm going to buy something, I'm going to sell something. There are so many apps out there like Poshmark, Mercari, Curtsy. I know that's like the newest fun one, Curtsy. I haven't used it yet, but sell clothes on Poshmark. Sell them, and then once you sell one thing, buy something.
Yes, this one is huge. My sister's friend, Renee, actually does this. She's like a genius. She's like, sometimes I love to shop. Like, she's like, if I know that like either like I shouldn't be buying something or like whatever, it's really expensive, I like make a rule for myself. So she's like, I'll go through my closet and I'll get like my old pair of jeans, which they're nice jeans, but they're like not in style anymore, and I'll sell them on Poshmark. And she's like, I'll make the money off of it. It also declutters, because I know it's a huge issue I run into. I've filled up an entire walk-in closet with shit, and like I don't wear half of it. So if you have that mindset, it's gonna declutter your closet and it's gonna cause you to save a ton of money. So I recommend that. Yeah. And then the last thing on shopping, sabotage yourself in a good way. I went through this a year ago. I had a really, really big issue. I was spending way too much money on clothes. I stopped going to Newbury Street, because whenever I'm on Newbury Street, I'm going to go into a freaking boutique. I black out. I buy everything. So when I stopped going there, I stopped spending money. Don't put yourself into situations like, if you're a strong-willed person, good for you. If you're like me and you can't help yourself, and if you're there and you're with your friends and you're like, buy the boutiques.
Every
like,
time I'm with you on Newbury, I buy something.
Yes, it's just gonna happen. So if you're like that, then just don't go. Like, sabotage yourself in a good way and just like stay back and do something else. Go to the park. I don't know, go to a museum. Sounds lame, but
Yeah, I agree. Okay. So this one, Ubers, they just transportation in general. If you need a car, then that sucks. But if you honestly don't, get rid of it. I know it sounds stupid, but if you're living in the city,
and you
might not need one.
Parking is so much money. Unless you need it.
Car insurance, parking, it's so expensive. But for those that do need a car, Ubers add up. Like when you're going out on the weekend, you know, it's crazy with the surges lately. It might be a $10 Uber now, but on the weekend it's $50 just to get home, and it's ridiculous, and that adds up, and it's really a waste of money. So honestly, utilize the T, utilize the blue bikes. It's like what, $250 for the blue bikes?
Amazing. I love the blue bikes.
You're getting exercise while you're doing it.
We bike everywhere in the summer, the fall, and the spring, and then just don't go out in the winter.
There's no need. You don't need to go out in the winter, so there's no need to Uber.
Stay home.
And honestly, the T is also really cheap, and I took it from the West End to East Boston. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I could take the T every day for work, but honestly, like on the weekend, might as well. You're not in a time crunch.
Exactly. Okay, and then the last one, so the club, traveling, concerts, I threw weddings in there too, even though it's a little bit different. I kind of put these all under like the experiences category, things that are like fun to do experiences. I know weddings are a little bit more like mandatory, so you can't really do this, but first off, with any experience, make sure that you're like picking and choosing, like you're not doing everything. Don't be scared to say no to things. I get very bad FOMO. I need to work on this myself, but pick the things you really want to do and don't do the things you don't want to do. Don't feel pressured to go to the club for the third weekend in a row if you know you can't afford it, because I know I've been there. So don't be scared to say no. But also, this is something that someone told me a long time ago, and I actually started doing it, and it's worked, especially for weddings. Plan out like the things that you have coming up. Like let's say you have 5 weddings this summer. Plan them out. Plan out when they are and how much you want to save for them, and start putting away money now every single week. So what my boss told me, she was like, Shannen, every single Friday when you get your paycheck, go to the ATM and take out $20 and literally put that $20 like away in literally like a piggy bank or like a box, or just put it in an envelope under your
somewhere.
bed. If you start doing that now, by next summer, you're going to have so much money literally set aside, and make it like, don't dip into it every now and then. Just like out of sight, out of mind. Take the 20 out, put it in the box, put it away. Don't think about it until the next week. By the summer, you're going to have so much money in there specifically saved for, giving wedding invites, or let's say you have to be a part of like a bachelorette party or whatever it is. You're going to have that money set aside, and you can just take it, put it in the envelope, give it to the bride and groom at the wedding. This goes for like vacations, things like that. Just like have the cash put aside. There's something about like having to take out like a lump sum of like $100 to give to someone at a wedding. Like it feels like you're taking so much out, but if you've budgeted for it all year round, you're not going to notice like the 20s being taken out every single week, like the way that you will like taking out $500 over the course of a summer for a few different weddings. So yeah, that's a little thing on that.
I agree. And if you've tried everything that we've just said, you've tried to cut back on spending. You just like to swipe.
You can't help it. You can't help yourself.
Sorry, I'm choking on
There's
my own
nothing
spit.
like the sound of that magnetic strip going across the fucking whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. Get a side hustle.
Yes.
We've said it before in a previous episode. By the time, I don't know what they say, but you should have 3 streams of income.
By the time you're 30, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Your main job, your side hustle, and then an investment property.
Yes.
Or whatever you want to do.
And we didn't get into investments on this episode because we'll probably talk about it another time. But yes, side hustle. And if you're listening to side hustle and you're like, well, I'm not smart enough to invent an app, it doesn't need to be like something that intense. Honestly, like I have someone I work with where she used to bartend when she was in college, and I mean, she has a great job now and she makes good money, but she's like, hell, sometimes like if my old boss like reaches out to me and needs extra help over the weekend, like I'll go in and I'll work a shift at the bar, make $300 bartending. And that's just like extra like spending money that you can use on like the clothes and the nails and like whatever it is that you want to do without having to worry about that dipping into your savings.
Yeah. And how many Saturday nights have you found yourself not doing anything?
Yeah.
Like there are times when you think you can't have a side hustle, but you really can.
Exactly.
And you make time for the things that matter to
you.
you.
It doesn't have to be something intense. Like if you want to literally like sell stuff on Facebook
babysit.
Marketplace, babysit.
Go on care.com.
If you're like artistic and you are good at making, I don't know, like my sister's an amazing like artist, like she paints, like she started selling her paintings, like anything like that. It can start small and get bigger, but we really recommend that you guys start doing that, because if you start having that mindset, that's going to help you the older that you get in life. Okay.
Yeah.
Capiche?
Capiche. I am motivated
to save some money this fall. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Again, Abby and I are not financial advisors, so anything we said on here may not always be 100% true, but we just wanted to break down some things that have worked for us in the past. But that's all that we had this week.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you liked what you heard, follow us on Instagram. It's at @drinksafterwork_, on TikTok at @drinksafterwork, no underscore. And if you're a girl in the Boston area looking to make new friends, looking for restaurant recommendations, looking to know like what events are going on in the city, join our private Facebook group. It's linked in our bio, but also you can just search Drinks After Work Boston Baddies in your Facebook search bar and fill out the membership questions.
Exactly. And thank you guys so much for listening. We're going to see you next week. But in the meantime, go out there. Let's have a great fall. Let's save some friggin' money. For a girl and you're going out for Halloween this weekend, dress up like a cat, dress up like a bat. Don't dress up at all. Do whatever the hell you want. And if you're a boy, dress up like a fucking firefighter.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye, baddies.